Hi everyone, this is Nu-Trix, and today we're talking about Bleass again, and they have this great motion effect coming out. It should be out on Sunday. I don't even know when this video is going to come out, so it might be already out. Whatever. It's a great plugin. Now, what's really bizarre and interesting about how Bleass approaches effects is the fact that they're musical. What I mean by that is they don't create just like a reverb and a delay. They add some features in it that you can actually use it so it becomes musically part of your creation process. And that's what I really love about these plugins. Bleass has this musical, I would say, nature to them that makes it so the plugins are really cool and they're musically usable, and they're also part of your inspiration when you use them while you create. So it's not just like, hey, slap a distortion at the end. No, the distortion is, like in the case of motion effect, it's moving and changing as the rhythm plays. So it becomes part of the creation process. So that's pretty awesome. And I like this notion that you almost have to think about your plugins like modular parts that you add to the process. You know, it's not just like, oh, there's effects and there's the instrument. No, the effects are part of the way the instrument plays. So that's really interesting. So this motion effect is a plugin that slices time, and in each of the slice, you can actually control the amount of an effect. Oh, let's go in and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we have this screen. We have, in this case, we're in the ring modulation. Basically, the center window, which is sequencer, you have the information about how the sequence is going to be, affecting whatever effect you're selecting. You have the three blue ones, which are, three filters: low pass, high pass, and mid pass. On the left, on the right side, you have you have dry, wet, you have resonance. Resonance, amount, randomness, and smooth. This changes depending on what you're selecting. You're in the filters, they're basically the same value. You go into volume, oh, there's another difference. Now there's no other control. Pan, pitch, then you got to control about the grain, and chromatic, major or minor for the grid that you're going to have here. Frequency shifting, you have the fine tuning, is it stereo or not? Ring modulation, same logic, you have a control about the fine tuning and the stereo or not. Warmth, which is the drive. Crusher, again, which is the depth of the crusher, and delay. Then you've got feedback, ping pong, and stereo values. So this changes to address each of the different effects. So you're going to have a control that has some logic with this effect itself. On the left side, you have the length of how many slices basically you're going to have, from 16 to 4. That's the minimum. And you've got the resolution. Basically, each of these slices, do you want it to be the length of 2 bars? Maximum will be 4 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar, and then half, quarter, eighth of a note, and then you go down to a 32nd of a note. Okay? And then you've got this little thing called reset. Basically, you erase everything and start from scratch. Snap. Snap is basically interesting. Let's say we're going to go with frequency shifting. Or pitch. Pitch is even more obvious. You see these little lines here. If you're in snap mode, when you move this up, let's say I'm going to pick something like this, okay? I'm going to pick the square section. So when you move it, you're going to snap to the value that is here. So this is really efficient, If you don't put snap, well, you can put it between 2 values. So it's going to be, what do you want, basically? And to move these snap values, when you play with the amount, you're changing the depth of the movement. So now you're going up to 12 semitone, or you're going, you're selecting up to how much. So of course, if you go here, well, if you're in snap mode, it's going to be easier to just move between these values. So it's a question of depending on how you want to do it, but this is the logic of the snap resolution. So let's actually I've got this little drum beat playing here. I'm going to put this on. If I turn it on. So this one's a little bit bizarre. Let's try I'm going to go with 8 different values. Let's say the crusher. So this is interesting. You see, you get different ways to control how this is going to be. So this, let's say I'm going to put it all very straightforward, you know, very straight. So these are the kind of, do you want them to glide or not? Let's say I'm going to put noise on these two here, okay? Stop. Again. I'm at 4/4. That's how I'm going to put it. Okay, if you want it to be, now the smooth is how much time it's going to take to smooth the value between the high and the low. So if I bring that down, you see it goes faster to the maximum and goes down faster. Whereas if you have the smooth, you're playing the kick before it goes up to the maximum drive. And you have the randomness, is how much is going to be random values around the point that you have here. So if you put it in the middle, and you put it maximum randomness, that's basically going to be anywhere. You don't know. So if you want random stuff, that's also pretty cool. Let's say we want to keep it straight now, just so we hear what we're doing. Maximum amount, so we hear that movement. If you put it at, let's say 555 milliseconds, it's the time it takes to open up, to bring the value up. It's smooth, so it's rounder. But if you put it at 0, it goes to maximum, just drive, and then pull up, pull back, drive, back. One thing that is cool when you work with something like this, if you change the resolution, or the grid, and so I'm going to say, no, the resolution, let's say I'm going to say, it's still 8 of a note when I put it at 7. You're basically changing, because we don't have the same grid. You have 1/8 of a note, and you have 8 slices, and instead of 8, you're dropping down to 7. So you're always triggering it back where, a little bit earlier. So gradually your distortion is moving in your song. So not the same section is being distorted. It creates movement and changes. And if you want it to glide, you can actually go like this. So you have these controls here. That's pretty cool. Let's say we try a crusher. Again, if you don't want it to be too... And again, the length is 1/8. Let's say we switch it to... I like this. It's just like pretty cool to have this little movement here. So this is kind of bizarre. Look at the grain size of the pitch shifting. So by using it with this time reference here, you have this kind of evolution of a rhythm. Let's take off the snap now. And you have these different ways of, you know, having this evolution of time, which is pretty neat. I like this. So you have the low pass, which is a cool one also. there's something really nice. If we go warm, and let's say we do again this little 7 section here, 7, and let's say we do the straight line that I did earlier. Okay, this is it. This is what we want. Maybe we even have, and we do. Okay, it's going to change because now we're at 7, so it's going to gradually move within the song or the rhythm. So that's it. Let's add another one. It's going to go into, again, FX motion effects. Here we go. But this one, I'm going to put the low pass. Say, well, I only want to have 4 of them, or 5. So the last one's going to be really... So that's pretty cool. You have this, so this goes over 4 bars. First one to close up, but still have the distortion happening on the different section at the back. So it goes through the first one with the distortion that is gradually shifting through the rhythm. And you have this one on top doing the opening up and close over. And you can have it longer, 4 bars if you want. So it becomes something else, That's what I love about this, is you don't have to think about it like, okay, it's just like effects and it. No, it's just part of the, I'm creating a rhythm with this. It becomes something else. So that's why I have to say, man, Bleass, you're just inspiring me with these type of apps. They're not effects. They're building blocks of a rhythm of a song, because this is what it does. It creates something totally different. Now let's try this same logic with this little bass line here. I've got this, that's Shaper. I'll talk about Shaper in another video. It's a cool one, but it's special. It's special. So we have this, and again, if we want to have some. So it can just be like motion, yeah, but let's break it down. So and again, if we go like this, so you have a good, evolution, and the filter is pretty nice. And again, you can go and have something that is more like this. Because at 13 of its length, it's going to change. It's going to move. It's going to kind of phase and shift while it plays, because it's not going to loop as a normal length of a song or a beat. So you combine the two of them. Where's this one? That's it. I'm just having fun, and I find it pretty cool to have this capacity of creating this movement over time, and with that little surprising off the grid looping of the motion, it creates something totally different. Again, Bleass, great job. Love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Stay safe. Make more music. Cheers.